So myself, Amit, I head the technology at NASSCOM Center of Excellence in IoT and AI. So if you look at the overall IoT technology stack, you can divide the whole stack into five different components, and each of the component plays significant role in terms of deployment of an IoT solution, starting with hardware, embedded software, connectivity, infrastructure, and application software. So if you see the landscape of the startups, you will find that there are large number of startups in the application software within the Indian ecosystem, because the impact is very high in terms of getting customer faster. There is a very low barrier to entry. There are very good business models and scalability available. But the whole idea about when you want to create a startup which is very impactful, this is where most of the startups from India are working, and very few have a chance, or the percentage to get succeed is very less, because either this stage requires lot of acquisition for the customer, as well as lot of cash burn kind of business models. If you come to the infrastructure part of it, there are very few startups in India in the infrastructure, for the simple reason that the entry barriers are high and the global players are already in India. So this I marked in red, where most of the startup don't focus a lot. There's another component to the IoT stack, which is connectivity. The impact is medium because you do require a lot of connectivity hardware. There are moderate entry barriers, I would say. There are few companies in India, they're making their own gateways, but still, most of the companies do import directly from rest of the world. So there are few companies who work on making the connectivity. When I say connectivity, it's complete mesh based on LoRaWAN, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, BLE. So those are the startup we see. And then we also see I won't say very few, but very ambitious startups who have their own hardware and embedded software. Here also they have a very high impact. The market entry, the barrier to entry are high to moderate, depending upon what kind of hardware they are making out. And what we analyze is the most impactful startup is something who has every component under its belt or repertoire, meaning a startup which has an hardware, embedded software of its own, connectivity, infrastructure might be outsourced, but they have their own an application. That creates a startup as a very good startup, or a potential startup which can scale, grow, as well as become a very successful. So this is the overall startup ecosystem which we see. And if you look at the overall thing, India being very strong in their software, and which is embedded as well as application software, that's where naturally we see a lot of startups because of the low entry barriers. But there are a lot of skills available in India for the hardware, but we still need to go a little bit further to become as a hardware startup as such. So in terms of the challenges for the startup, I will primarily focus from the hardware and the OS side, which is most impactful. And if you know, the whole startup world are two phases which we see. It's early stage as well as new startup. When I say a new startup is somebody who has a brilliant idea, but then he is really stifled because he doesn't have a required hardware, or he has to just shut down the idea, or a startup which is struggling to create a prototype, a hardware prototype. And if you look at what support, or what are the key challenges this stage of startups requires, is even starting from component identification. We have seen brilliant ideas, but they don't fructify because there is lack of understanding in terms of what components are available. Why do we should use microcontroller or processor or a connectivity modules which should be used for 2G, LTE, 5G future kind of connectivity module. Second is design and engineering services around. So this is a when somebody starts the startup, it doesn't have a lot of resources, so he has to piggy bank on a couple of guys or freelancers to do CAD or mechanical CAD or ECAD. And when this happens, probably the experienced resources don't come in, and then they definitely require some EMI, EMC best practices also. So that should go in their product design. Third and most important activity, what I would say, is prototyping. And the biggest challenge what they see is the cost of the component, because the MOQ is low, So they are very reluctant to experiment a lot. So they try to go with the standard components and few other which are already trial and tested components. Second, what they require is a fast turnaround time. Because it is a prototyping is a stage where people try to experiment and invent a lot of things, change a lot of things. So require somebody or some partner who can match their speed of change, and also sometimes require an additional support in terms of debugging what is the issue with the hardware. On the software perspective, most of the startup at this point are using open source OS or RTOS, but again, some of them have their own capability or credibility to develop their embedded software. Here, they do require a lot of support in architecture as well as connectivity module. So, in a short, if you look at the early and the new startup, they are more of a prototyping, and we know that prototyping is often experimenting and invention phase. The most important thing for the prototyping is the quick turnaround time, and we call this phase more of a cash burn because the startup doesn't earn at this point, so they have to use the resources very judiciously. So that's where it's like a catch 22 situation. They have a brilliant idea but very limited resources. How to navigate them? And in one sentence, if you see, the prototyping is only one of something, just making one of something. So once we move to a very matured or a successful startup, the whole transition becomes very different. Prototyping is you make one, but now production means you have to make many identical, repeatable products around. So what do I know? There are a lot of ask from the industry, but I just nailed down few things which might help. So we want to move from vendor to a partner relationship with most of the companies around, and one thing which we think which will help is being near to the ecosystem will help mutually. What does this mean? The proximity will help most of the startup to get access to the experts from manufacturing. That will help them to navigate this whole transition phase smoothly. One thing which most of the startup always asked was, can we have a central component library with specification and manufacturing support? Can we get somewhere? Because it's very difficult. And as Premjit did mention that if you have one window where you can just go and give your requirements and get a final product, that helps the startups a lot. Um, so also the second is also the designer. Many manufacturing unit have their own ways and means or small things to be considered so that the product can be designed. So that input, if that comes very early in the MVP phase itself, the relationship would probably prosper because the startup is handholded right from ideation to go into the production stage. Second important aspect was having a direct access to OEM and supplier with correct and updated contact details. We did have a lot of challenges in terms of reaching the final OEM, but there are a lot of I won't call them middlemen, but there are a lot of consulting companies in between, and sometimes the startup gets lost in that. And coming to what NASSCOM is, just a brief of it, is the National Association for Software and Services, and it's a premier trade body and chamber of commerce for the tech industry. We have more than 2,800 member companies from large scale to global companies around. And recently, what we have is we have been guided by this national vision of India to become a leading digital economy. So we are focusing, the more focus for NASSCOM is to accelerate the pace of transformation. So in order to do that, NASSCOM has established two COEs, COE of Data Science and COE of Internet of Things. This is supported by METI, which is Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India, state government, industry, to develop this whole culture of co-creation, focusing areas being Industry 4.0, automotive, healthcare, agriculture, across all the areas where we see digital can bring a lot of transitional benefits to a lot of people in India as such. So with this, I just end my presentation, and then I just make an appeal to come and collaborate, innovate together, and grow together to all the friends across the border.